A lot of people say, if I only knew the answer to my problem, I would be satisfied. Well, you are given the answers. Unfortunately, for some of us, when our intuitive sense kicks in, our safety and security alarm system goes off at the same time. And because the alarm is so loud, we end up unconsciously denying or suppressing or hiding from the answers or guidance that is intuitively given to us. We all do this at one time or another. And guess what? It's not our fault. So hello and welcome back to another morning shower aha moment. My name is Suzanne and I am your intuition coach. So when we deny or hide from our inner guidance, our intuition, I say it's not our fault because our brain has been hardwired with an alarm system that resists change. So when you get a subtle intuitive nudge to make any change or improvement in your life, the alarms go off in your brain and a hormonal chemical cocktail rushes through your body and puts you in a state of fight or flight or even paralysis. So the safety alarms go off and you know what? They are so loud that they drown out the whispers of knowings. All of your fears kick in, right? So that you can't help but unconsciously default to your old reactive behavioral patterns that put you in a state of fear-based action that might not be in your best interest. Or you might get so paralyzed with resistance that you don't take any action. So when you get intuitive information that doesn't make sense to your brain, there is this little toggle switch of sorts that gets activated. There's a little alarm tripper embedded in a part of the brain that does not want you to evolve beyond striving for food or water or shelter or leaving your safe little tribe. And while this alarm is really, really good at keeping your basic survival needs in check, it does not care about you thriving or being creative or being fulfilled and happy to make your dreams come true. And these dreams may include doing the work you really love to do or being with the people, relationships that really fill you up. Okay? It will do everything to demotivate your personal growth. So you might experience this alarm system's safety tactics as a vicious cycle of procrastination, self-sabotage, among other limiting dream killers. So I'm not a fan of tricking alarms or going underneath them or around them. I believe in facing them. Okay? When we face the alarms head on, then and only then can we master the alarm system so that it doesn't rule us, but instead we master the alarms. Okay? So we know that this alarm is the fight or flight system in our brains that goes off when there are perceived potential life or death threats. We also know that it is totally irrational that a person will physically die if they get fired or laid off from their job, or a love relationship ends. But the initial irrational reaction of this alarm system acts as if death is imminent, right? Well, some people act so absolutely irrational when this alarm in the brain is tripped that they react as though they're going to die. And that's when everything gets dramatic and crazy. Okay. So what are some ways in which you can go through this alarm system and not get zapped with paralysis or destructive behavior so that you can begin to make your authentic dreams come true? Well, the first step is awareness, okay? Are you even aware of what your specific default is when your intuition trips the safety and security alarm system? I mean, everyone's different, right? And depending on the situation, everyone reacts differently when they feel a perceived threat to the status quo or their familiar comfort zone is threatened. So if you are not living your most actualized self, your intuition will gently nudge you into the direction of a more purposeful path. But you are also given free will as to whether or not you will follow that purposeful path. Okay? That's where the frustration usually lies for people, because they don't want to have to make a decision that includes unknown outcomes. So staying in the status quo is a more likely default for us because we like to be in the know. Okay? We like to be in control. And sometimes even an uncomfortably numb state is enough for us to not follow our intuition. So think about what you do when you know you want something, but that darn alarm trips and you find yourself in a state of stuckness or confusion. What do you reach for to cope with this uncomfortable feeling? Okay, being aware is key. So the second step is acknowledge your fears. Okay, write down or reflect on all the fears that you have about following through on the intuitive guidance that you've been given. Okay, lay it all out. Be honest. Write down everything that scares the crap out of you. And when you acknowledge your fears, it's really as good as facing them. And by facing them, they aren't as scary as they seem. Or I should say, you'll realize that you are not going to die, as that safety and security alarm system would have you believe. So thirdly, and this is actually the most important step, take action. And no, I'm not necessarily talking about taking action that is directly related to the intuition, okay? I mean, take some kind of fun and pleasurable action that supports your intuition, but doesn't force you to make an immediate decision or change. I mean, you can make immediate change, but, if you're not comfortable, go the other route. So by taking any action, you are actually resetting the alarm system, meaning you are giving the alarm system a break from the fight or flight action or inactive procrastinating paralysis that you might normally default to. Okay? You are actually creating new neural pathways in the brain that support new intuitive information to flow through you. So this third tip is really the most important, and the reason it is the most important is because as a human being, we really need to get away from the fight or flight or freeze reaction and begin to respond from a self-actualized, evolved place. So the time is now for us to evolve from the primitive and old ways of doing our lives. So response versus reaction is the new evolving way of doing things. So back in the day, you know what? It was fine to react because everything was about known quantities. I mean, you knew that you would have a pension when you retired from that one job that you had your entire life. Or you just accepted your role in your family dynamic for survival needs. But now things are so uncertain and dramatically shifting that you can't afford to react anymore. You need to learn to respond to your environment. So tapping into your intuition, it's a great way to respond to your environment rather than react from your alarm system. And by the way, the alarm system is always going to be there so long as you have a brain. You will always have this alarm. So that's a good thing because it keeps you alive. And I am talking about true survival, such as life or death situations. However, your relationships, your life purpose, your money woes are not life or death situations. They can be uncomfortable scenarios, but in most cases, you won't die, okay? So there you have it. If you liked this message, give it a thumbs up and share the love. Also, you can always work with me directly in private sessions that are designed specifically for your needs. And you can visit me at www.revivewithenergy.com, or if you have a quick question, shoot me an email at suzanne@revivewithenergy.com. And until next time, keep that safety and security alarm system in check, okay? Till next time, see you later. Bye-bye.